Good afternoon and welcome to the Thanksgiving version of our planning briefing. As you can see, we caught Tom trying to cross the road. Let's hope he made it to the other side safely. So high pressure rebuilds over the Northern Rockies tonight. An active pattern begins as early as Friday evening in northwest Montana and north central Idaho, and then for the rest of us by Saturday. And then Arctic air may interact with a wetter system on Monday and create some travel impacts. All right, looking at Friday afternoon, we can see precipitation in the form of snow is at the doorstep of northwest Montana. We advance a couple of hours forward, and by 9 p.m., most of northwest Montana is seeing light precipitation. I do believe it'll be in the form of light snow, but we think the potential is there, especially in some of those lower valleys, for a period of freezing rain to happen. And then by 3 in the morning, we're into west central Montana and north central Idaho. Now this area is going to be slightly different than northwest Montana. The cold pools may not be as strong, and similar to what happened this morning, a period of freezing rain or freezing drizzle across most of these valleys is possible. Also, northwest Montana, there may be a drying out of the mid-levels of the atmosphere, and precipitation may end as a period of freezing rain, creating some icy spots on the roads. And then by Saturday afternoon, that precipitation is out of here, and we can already see our next system on the horizon. Looking at our snow totals, this is middle of the road, 50% of the models. You're looking at 2 to 5 inches at Lookout and Marias Pass. Low should be fairly similar. The valleys, a trace to an inch up here, and if it ends as a period of freezing rain, a glaze of ice in these locations. And then for 9 Mile, Missoula, down into the Bitterroot and I-90 west of here, I think there's a real good chance that there'll be a glaze of ice, because I do think a period of freezing rain is quite possible. Lower valleys of north central Idaho, similar. And then as you get closer along US 12 up to Lolo Pass, it'll be all snow. And then a little bit of light snow in southwest Montana. Even though it's not being shown here, a trace to a half an inch is quite possible. We push forward into Sunday here. And once again, this is the middle of the road, or 50% of the models. And we're looking at 8 to 12 inches at Lookout and Marias Pass, and Lolo will be quite similar. The valleys, now you're looking at 1 to 3 inches for the Flathead Valley, and this is middle of the road, okay? And it'll be a little bit lighter, traced to 2 inches for Missoula and south and east. The best moisture is going to be from north central Idaho up into the glacier region. I do want to show what the higher amounts could be. You're talking closer to a foot for Lookout and Marias Pass and Lolo. And now we're talking 2 to 4, 2 to 5 inches potentially for the Flathead Valley and for northwest Montana. The I-90 corridor and Missoula and south, it's only showing an inch here, but I think a trace to 2 inches in this general area is quite possible. And then in the Camas Prairie, a trace to 2 inches. And that US 12, as you get higher, could be anywhere from a trace to 2 inches to 2 to 5 inches the closer you get to the pass here. Monday is going to be the interesting day. The moisture may interact with that colder air. I think the better chance is going to be up here in the Flathead and Mission Valleys and along the Continental Divide. We're not quite sure where that polar boundary is going to set up, but I want to show you an extreme forecast because this is a potential for Monday. You're talking 1 foot to 2 feet of snow at Lookout and Marias Pass if the moisture interacts with this Arctic boundary. And for the Flathead Valley, don't get hung up on the amount here, but you're talking multiple inches. 3 to 7 inches is quite possible if the boundary sets up over the Flathead Valley. I have less confidence that the boundary is going to make it to the I-90 corridor, so Missoula and south This extreme forecast is likely not going to happen, but the potential is there for multiple inches, even along that I-90 corridor. Certainly east of Missoula, that chance gets better because the Arctic air can get through these canyons a little bit faster. Once again, we're not sure how far that Arctic air mass is going to get into western Montana. For travel impacts, by Thursday, it's going to be minimal everywhere, but in northwest Montana, watch out for a little bit of fog in the morning or low stratus. Then by Friday, it'll be low impacts as that light snow develops for northwest Montana and north central Idaho. On Saturday, everywhere but Lemhi County has low impacts due to snow and the potential for some freezing rain in the valleys where we could get a glaze of ice similar to what happened this morning. Today is Wednesday if you watch this on a later date. So moderate for snow on Sunday. You saw how those totals start to jump up as a moisture air mass comes in on Sunday. And then on Monday, if we interact with that Arctic and we feel confident that the Arctic is going to get into northwest Montana, we could start to see some higher amounts of snow, certainly at Lookout, Lolo, and Marias Pass, where 1 foot to 2 feet is possible. We'll have a better idea of the Arctic on our Sunday, the 27th briefing. I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll see you then.